Hi everyone, thanks for joining Bentley and me today for our devotion. Bentley, he has discovered that if he comes up and nudges us, he'll get attention from us, and he might even get a rub down and a long massage, which he really loves. It was during one of our online sermons that Bentley was sitting with me, and he kept nudging me, and I'd put my hand down, and then he'd nudge it like this, telling me, I want you to pet me some more. And he kept doing it over and over until he fell asleep and snored. Because finally, he was happy with the response that I gave to him for petting him. You know, God, he will nudge us from time to time as well. And like Bentley, sometimes he'll have to nudge us a number of times before we even budge or pay attention. Nudges, they're little messages from the Holy Spirit, speaking to our spirit until God is satisfied with our response. And he'll keep nudging until we will respond. Why don't we budge when God nudges? Why don't we? Why don't we carry out his requests? Is it fear or is it lack of confidence? You know, what we do matters. What you do and what I do, it really matters. We are significant, very significant. We are God's assistants, and he needs us to help carry out his work here on earth. I experienced that firsthand this summer. God nudged me about 6 months ago to reach out to someone. It wasn't anything elaborate or out of the ordinary. It was just a simple text and a few emails. But I just followed God's lead. For once, that time, I followed God's lead. I felt him nudging me, and I followed through. Well, last month, out of the blue, this person that I sent some messages to way back in the summer, they sent me they sent me an email. They were thanking me so much for me reaching out and encouraging them with their faith. I sat at my computer that day and I put my hands up to my head, and I started to cry. What if I hadn't budged that day when God nudged me? I was overwhelmed at the simplicity of reaching out to someone and the difference that it made in their life. Whose life is in the balance that God might be calling you to reach out to? Don't turn your back on God. And most of all, don't turn your back on them. You know, this person may have a family member or a mom like me that's been praying that someone like you would reach out to them and be their friend and help direct them along their path of their faith. This person's mom is praying fervently. And you might be that mom's answer to prayer. Think of it. You might be someone's answer to prayer if you just listen to God's nudges and reach out to that individual that God's put upon your heart. How simple is a text message or an email to rescue someone's life? You know, we need to tune into God's nudges. In 2021, let's tune in to God's nudges and nudge someone else along the way. Their eternity might be dependent on us listening to that nudge from the Holy Spirit.